You sit across from her. The air is thick with unspoken things. A single lamp paints the room in shades of sepia and shadow. You feel a knot in your chest, a tangle of fear and frustration. And you think, if only she could understand. If you could just find the right words, everything would be okay. So you open your mouth. You let the words spill out. You speak of your anxieties, your childhood fears, the gnawing insecurity that you might not be good enough. You are handing her a map, a detailed, annotated blueprint of your soul's most fragile architecture. You believe this is an act of connection, a bridge being built. You are wrong. This is an act of disarmament. Because for her, your feelings are not a sacred text to be cherished. They are ammunition, and she has been waiting patiently to reload. Why does this happen? You rack your brain for an answer. Was it something you said? The way you said it? You replay the conversation 1,000 times. The confusion is a fog. It isolates you. It makes you believe the fault lies within your own heart, your own inability to communicate. This is not an accident. This is psychology. It's a game played by those who feed on the emotional energy of others. These individuals, often exhibiting traits of narcissism or borderline personality, do not process emotions as you do. They see them as tools, as leverage. When you express a vulnerability, you think you're asking for a hug. They hear a confession. You are telling them exactly where to strike to cause the most damage. Your fear of being alone. It becomes the threat she uses to keep you in line. No one else would put up with you, she'll say, her voice dripping with false concern. Your insecurity about your career, it becomes the punchline in a public argument. Maybe that's why you're stuck in that dead-end job. She'll slice, a perfect, calculated strike. Your need for validation, it becomes a currency she controls. She will give it and then withdraw it, watching you scramble for the scraps of her approval. This is emotional vampirism. She doesn't want to understand your pain. She wants to consume it. It makes her feel powerful. It makes her feel alive. Let's call him Arthur. He was a creator, a man who saw poetry in the rain and stories in the shadows. His heart was his compass. And then he met Eleonora. She was a storm wrapped in calm, a beautiful ruin. She spoke of understanding and seeing his true self. One night, Arthur confessed his deepest fear, not of spiders or heights, but of mediocrity. The terror that his creations, his very soul's work, would one day be forgotten. He explained that this fear was a motivator, but also a poison. It was the ghost that haunted his studio late at night. Eleonora listened. She nodded. She held his hand and said, "Your art could never be mediocre. It holds a piece of you. It's immortal." Arthur felt a profound sense of relief. He felt seen. He had shared his demon, and she had not run. She had embraced it. Weeks later, an argument. A trivial thing about a forgotten promise. The disagreement escalated, as it always did, into a storm of her making. Arthur tried to defend himself, to reason, and that's when she drew her weapon, the one he had so trustingly given her. "You're so dramatic," she hissed, her voice cold and sharp. "It's no wonder you're terrified of being mediocre. Maybe you should be." The words hit him harder than any physical blow. It wasn't just an insult, it was a violation. She had taken his most sacred fear, the heart of his artistic soul, and fashioned it into a dagger. She didn't just want to win the fight, she wanted to annihilate him. This is the moment of truth, the razоблачение. You realize the game was rigged from the start. The problem was never your feelings. Your feelings are valid. They are human. They are you. The problem was the audience. You were performing a sacred ritual for a person who only came to desecrate the altar. So what do? Do you build walls so high that nothing can ever touch you? Do you seal your heart in a lead-lined box? No. That is a prison of your own making. That is letting her win. That is letting her poison kill the garden. The transformation is not in silence, but in wisdom. It's in discernment. It's learning that your soul is not a public park. It is a private, walled garden. Not everyone deserves a key. Most will only ever see the walls. They will call you closed off, guarded, cold. Let them. Their opinions are the buzzing of flies outside a sealed tomb. They mean nothing to what is sacred within. You will learn to test the soil before you plant a seed. You will watch actions, not words. You will see who brings water and who brings poison. True intimacy is not a confession. It is a shared sanctuary. It is earned, not demanded. It is built brick by brick with trust and reciprocity. So do not explain your feelings to those who have proven they cannot be trusted. Do not mistake a predator's curiosity for a lover's concern. Your vulnerability is a treasure, a source of immense power, creativity, and connection. But like all treasures, it must be guarded. So the next time you feel that desperate urge to explain, to justify, to pour your soul out onto the table, pause. Ask yourself, have they earned the right to hear this? Have they shown they are a safe harbor? Or are you just handing ammunition to the enemy you sleep beside?